Hello all. For any queries on the topics discussed in my YouTube channel or any general QA technical questions assistance, please join our official QA forum in Facebook. There are thousands of QAs actively collaborating to this group with their experiences, so you can post your question or be a mentor for another QA who needs help. Okay, so you can find the link in the description below to join this forum and subscribe to our below YouTube channel. Good luck. Okay, so now let's understand why this pipeline plugin is used suitable for small scale applications. Now, so if your application have set of 5 to 10 pages, or if there is only one module, then you can build, deploy, test and release it. But there are some complex projects written and they have n number of modules to verify. For example, you may need to build, and that is the first job, and next job is to check if unit testing coverage is there. That could be the another build, and then they deploy into dev first. Okay, so they deploy whole their project first into one dev environment, and they do some smoke testing on dev environment, and thereafter they will deploy it into QA, and after smoke testing they will also perform integration testing, and they also have unit testing. They do everything in dev, and after deploying into QA they will do UI testing, and or you can say end-to-end testing, API testing, and thereafter you have quality check, some syntax validation. All these are jobs, and then release into prod. These are the different jobs you may encounter when you are working with some enterprise companies which have a lot of practices in place. Okay, so in general, I can tell you that about 50% of people, when they say pipeline, they just care about building, deploying, one automation suite running and then release. But due to increase in agile environment, testing also have broken into different parts. So unit testing can be performed on the code level, and end-to-end testing should be performed on once the whole setup is ready in QA. There are a lot of constraints and rules are brought to make your testing more effective in this agile world. Okay, and there are also some rules to check whenever developer have written code how much unit testing coverage he has done. Okay, there are some tools called Sonar Cube which will scan your whole code and see how much coverage is there. So all these are out of scope for us. Those are specific to dev roles, and we need not worry about that. But I'm just telling you that the Jenkins may have these many jobs. Okay, there are literally around 10 jobs here. So if you want to create a pipeline, it's tedious task to actually configure 10 different chains by going and updating it everywhere. So instead, okay, if there is only 3-4 jobs, you can simply write a pipeline by using that plugin and by connecting each and every job to its previous job. Okay, but if there are more than 10 plus jobs are present, this is more of a tedious task. And then Jenkin came up with one solution for this. You can write script where you can create Jenkin jobs for all these on a fly with one single script. Okay, so that script, whenever Jenkins scan that script, if it understands that there are different jobs here, it will create all those jobs in a pipeline, and you can run this whole jobs with one single job. There is one large job called pipeline job, and you will give all these tasks as part of that one specific job only. Okay, everything you write in form of script, But it's very easy, don't worry. I'm going to show that in this or coming lecture. They have introduced one new domain specific language. There is no coding in it. Okay, with that domain specific language, you can schedule all these tasks in one single job and you can run them in the sequence. And Jenkin will scan that job and it will assume that you have all this set of jobs with you. Let me show an example. I have a demo which I have done earlier, and pipeline P demo. There should be one job. Yeah. So let's say there are totally 6 tasks here. For the 6 tasks, I have created one pipeline. Okay, there is only one job here, but I have written script to execute, build, deploy, test, unit testing, UI testing, release. So everything happens in one single job. And when it happens in one single job, you can see the status. Like when build is completed, you will see green for that specific job. And you can understand that, okay, build phase is done. Now it is trying to deploy. And then you can also know that it's trying to test, and then unit testing, UI testing, and then release. So instead of creating so many manual jobs like how we have done in previous lecture, and then creating one more pipeline job and connecting all these jobs itself, okay, not pulling the job to this specific job. Do not assume that build, deploy, test jobs are already somewhere there and I'm pulling here. The jobs also did not exist. You can create that jobs also using script in one single pipeline file. On that file, on a fly, you can create all these jobs, and you can also schedule to run all these jobs in the sequence. Everything happens with one single file. And once we build that file, our Jenkins will read that file and it automatically understands that there are these many tasks I need to do, and it will create a new structure and you can monitor the output. And when someone asks you that, are you running this build? And by seeing this, you can tell that yes, it's already in progress, and I can see that build deploy is done. You will have green here, and test is currently in progress. Thereafter, you have 2 more tasks, and then we should be go for release. Okay. By seeing this UI, you can tell progress of your project. So that's the concept of introducing this new style of Jenkins pipeline project. So in this second approach, this pipeline is created by executing one file. Okay, that file is nothing but a text file that stores this entire workflow, whatever we did in this step 1 as code. But do not worry, that file is written using Groovy domain specific language, and you will not see much of coding there. And there are 2 ways where you can write this domain specific language. One is declarative pipeline syntax and another is scripted pipeline syntax. And this is more famous and the latest trending one. So we will see this declarative pipeline syntax and understand that, and we create a Jenkin file for executing our jobs in the sequence like this, and then we will pass this file to our new project, and our project takes care of building this whole setup for us instead of we doing manually for each and every project. Okay, right. So in our next lecture, let's try to understand this file, and thereafter we will trigger the work. But one last thing, sorry, before I conclude this lecture, let me show you how can we create project first, and then I can talk about creating pipeline script. So new item. Here, instead of freestyle project or Maven project, you have to select this pipeline and then give pipeline script demo by selecting this pipeline tab and then click on OK. That's it. Now here you see that there is an option called pipeline script. As I said, there are two ways, declarative and declarative and pipeline script, I think. Yeah, declarative syntax and scripted syntax. So if you are using scripted syntax, you need to use this pipeline script option. But if you are using declarative syntax, you need to select this option, pipeline script from SCM. SCM is nothing but source code management. It could be Git or SVN. There are two different source code managements available, right? So now tricky part here is the Jenkins file, whatever we are going to create in next lecture, should come from GitHub. Okay, so Jenkins do not want any file to copy paste here or send it from your local system. It expects your script file only from source code management. So basically you need to create one project and put your file in that project, push it into your GitHub, and that GitHub link you need to pass here. Okay, so if you select Git as your source code management, and you need to give the GitHub URL where this Jenkins file is present here, so that when you run this whole project, it will go to that specific URL where your Git repository is present. From there, it will read your Jenkins file and then create pipeline on fly. Okay, there is no provision to write that script straight away in this job. But if you want to go with scripted syntax, pipeline script, you can write here itself, right? But for declarative syntax, right now no editor is supporting, so that's the reason we will actually store this file in one GitHub and bring it. So we have left with two tasks now. One is to create the file, and next is to push that file into GitHub repository and give that link to here. So now let's try to build pipeline script so that we should able to construct this whole pipeline dynamically for one job. Okay, so by now you have understood why we are seeing this second approach, because instead of having multiple jobs, we are trying to create a script which creates all these jobs in fly. Okay, so let me open the notepad and start writing that pipeline code. It's very simple. Okay, so first of all, you have to tell to your Jenkins that you are building pipeline. So simply write pipeline and open the forward braces and close it. So all the code you should write inside this pipeline block. Okay, now there is a concept called agents in Jenkins. So basically when you run your test, Jenkins will have multiple servers configured to it, and let's say there are 3 jobs if you want to run at a time, and if Jenkins is connected to 3 different servers, so it will schedule the jobs into 3 different servers at a time. But if you don't have, and those servers we call as agents. So right now in our Jenkins, we don't have any agent. I am using my local system agent to trigger and to provide all the environments. Okay, but in real time, there are multiple jobs running at a time in Jenkins, but that's only possible when you have agents in the connected to this Jenkins. Okay, so you will provide 3-4 operating systems connected to this Jenkins, so that Jenkins can distribute their test to those machines. All right, so in Jenkins terminology, the machines which are connected to this Jenkins are called as agents. Now when you want to run this pipeline, Jenkins expects you to tell on which agent you want to run this pipeline. So let's say that if this Jenkins is connected to multiple agents, you have to provide the agent name on which you want to trigger this whole pipeline. Let's say you want to trigger this on Linux machine. So if Linux machine is configured to this Jenkins, then you can say that agent give Linux. So for now, we don't have any agent. It's just a standalone Jenkins what we installed in our machine, and we are using our local system resources to run. So you can simply say any agent if you don't have any connections. In your company, if you have any agents, just go to the manage Jenkins. You will find out there what are configured, or reach out to your dev to see what all agents our Jenkins is using, and give any agent name here so that it will trigger in that particular server. So for now, let me give any. If I give any, even if there are multiple agents with me, it will trigger in on any agent. So we are not really bothered about this particular line. Okay, now comes actual concept. In Jenkins, each and every job, or right now there is only one job, but we are treating all these as separate tasks, right? And they are nothing but stages. This is a build stage, deploy stage, test stage. So you need to create one block called stages, and open the brackets and close the flower brackets. So what all the stages you want to declare as part of your pipeline. Okay, the stages are nothing but jobs. Okay, consider these like a jobs. In earlier lecture, in the first approach, we have build job, deploy job, test job, right? So in this script job, all the jobs we are writing in one single Jenkins job only by creating a script in Fly. So that's why treat these stages as jobs. So what all stages you want to define, you have to write inside this block. That's it. Simple. You see that there is no script in it. It's all about some declarative syntaxes here. Okay. The first job what I have is build. Okay. Now I'm going to create a script such that it will have this kind of pipeline. So if I explain like this, you will have clear idea on what you are building. Okay. So we thought that there is a pipeline which you want to create. You declared that, and that pipeline can run in any agent. Now thereafter, now you decided to create stages. Now let me create first stage. So parent is the stages which is used to create all the stages. In that you have to create one by one stage. So you have to also give stage name what you want to create. Build. If you want to create build stage, give like this, and again open the brackets and close it. Inside, now give all the commands what all you want to execute as part of that build. Okay. So here inside what to write, you will find if there is already existing build job in your Jenkins. Okay, so now here you are trying to construct a pipeline with already existing jobs. Okay, now when you are asked to create pipeline with these jobs, now go to each and every job and see what all commands it is trying to execute, and those all commands you have to place it here. But in general, you need not worry about what goes inside. You can just ask dev to give me the commands what all goes inside that. You can just create a pipeline structure like this and ask them to fill the commands inside that. Okay, or you can go to that specific job and find out. Let's say there is a command. If your Jenkins is using Linux or Mac, then you shell scripting works, so you have to use sh. If your Jenkins is on Windows, then you have to use bat. Let's say I am doing maven compile as part of this build. Okay, now when I say maven compile, which project it will compile? That's the question we have. So that's why when you try to create, let me go to I'll show you what happens when you give maven compile. Oh, we already created, I guess, one project in the last lecture, pipeline script demo. configure. Just follow this lecture. By end of this lecture, you will understand everything. Right. I clearly told that here I cannot directly just paste the script here. I have to download that script from any source code management like GitHub. So I have to provide GitHub project where my Jenkins file is present. Okay, when I give scm git, you see that it's asking the repository URL. So let's say this is my repository URL. Let's assume that. So this is my whole Maven project. Let's assume that we are using Maven project in our company, and this is our Maven project. So I will add Jenkins file to this project. So when I check out here with this repository URL, and it will first look for Jenkins file. Okay. So once it found Jenkins file, and when I give Maven compile, it will go and compile the project where Jenkins file is located. Okay. It will go and compile that particular Maven project. Understood, right? So for now, yeah, let me open this project where I have that configured already. You see that there is a project called git demo, and there is a Jenkins file inside it. Okay. Now, if I give this project in my repository, so it will first pull up the Jenkins file, and in the Jenkins file, when it found mv and compile, it will go and compile this whole project by looking at pom.xml. Okay, so that's why we will give this whole project repository link in that particular Jenkins job. Okay, so one blind thing what you can remember is it just compiles the project in where this file we are storing. Simple. Now when I give mv and compile, this particular job will compile your whole project. So similarly, for building your project into jar, in general we will use mvn install to make it as a jar. But for now, as a demo, I'm just writing mvl clean. Clean will just clean your whole Maven project, right? So something like that. Just ask the commands what all you need to pass to make that Jenkins job come, and then pass here. If it is shell scripting running on Windows Linux, put sh. If not, put bat, and complete your build step. Next, we have one more job called deploy immediately after build. So create stage deploy, so that it will create one more stage for you in pipeline, and then again you need to pass the commands for inside it. Is this for this and this? It's for stage, right? For stages 1 and pipeline 1. Am I right? Yeah. Perfect. Okay, so you can pass any commands again what all you require for deploy. I know as a tester we don't know what commands we require for demo. You can simply ask your DevOps team to give the commands. If they ask you to create pipeline with a script, if they ask to create a pipeline with plugin, you will simply connect all those jobs into one single plugin by going to the configuration, which we done in the initial lectures. That's very simple. Okay, no one need to give any information. We will just connect all that with the help of a beautiful plugin what Jenkins provide us. Okay, and I said 50% of the teams are still using that plugin only, but this is something latest. People who are more advanced in agile and they have cross-functional teams, they are trying to implement this. But if QA was asked to do this, you will just create a pipeline, create outer structure, and ask them to provide deploy commands. Okay, you need not worry about what deploy commands you have to actually do for it. If that is so, you will not be in QA side. You will simply go to DevOps, isn't it? Right. So for now, I'll just put echo. Echo is like, it just prints the output. deploying the code. I'll put some dummy. Okay, it's like sysout.println in Java. What else? Test. So create same stage again. It's simple, right? But for testing, you should be responsible to provide the commands, because as an architect, you should have knowledge about all testing area. So you are responsible for giving the commands here. Okay, so this time you can give mbn test. This will go and test your whole project. Okay. So we are already cleaning it previously, and then you can test it here. Nice. So thereafter you have unit testing. I mean, there is no rule that you have to create jobs like this. I just created one dummy, and I am showing how to create script if you want to create a pipeline like this. Unit testing mbn, you can say compile again. So it compiles a project. So I am giving some random commands. Okay, then we'll skip this UI testing. We will directly write release thing. I'll just release in the project. Yeah, so there is one more important keyword which you need to write here. So now you are very clear about stages, right? In the stage, when you are giving a command to execute, that particular command should go as part of steps block. Okay. Whatever commands you pass inside the stage should be wrapped under the steps. Just make sure that you put inside it, so that Jenkins treat that these are some kind of commands which I need to execute, either Windows or shell script based upon bat or sh, whatever you provide here. So similarly, if do it for all. So for deploy job, this is our executing line, right? We are just printing deploying the code. So that you need to wrap that. You see that all these are self-explanatory. Steps is to control your execution. Stage is nothing but your job. And agent is just an server name. It could be any, and that's it. Okay. Now this is little more improvisement for our previous script. Right. So I hope you are very clear with what we have done. Just to give on high level. Now this file should go inside one project. So I already have one project. Okay, git demo, and I also have Jenkins file inside it, but still let's put one more file, and I'll save it with Jenkins file 2. Jenkins file 2. Okay, now this file will go as part of this project, and this project we are going to push it into one GitHub repository. Let me show that. So here is my Git repository, and I am now going to publish this project here, and from here I will give it into my Jenkins. Okay, once you saved that file into any of your project, okay, I'll attach this project to download in this lecture. So download this project with the Jenkins file as well, and then try to push this into any of your GitHub repository, and you can provide the link there. Now, how to push any project into GitHub and how to create one repository for your own, so that all topics are clearly taught on Git section. So please continue. You will come across one Git source management section. In that section I have clearly explained everything from scratch. So either you can pause here and watch that Git section, or you can just continue by learning this if you are not already aware. So there is one section which explains you how to push your whole project into this repository. Okay, that's again a complete different concept, right? If I try to start explaining what is Git, what are commands, how we can push and pull, that will take around 2 hours for me. So we will completely deviate from this section. So just assume that the file whatever you created is present in your repository now. So how to publish, you have a section, don't worry. That separately I taught with Git topic. So first of all, once our file is stored in this Git demo, we should simply pass this link to our project so that Jenkins will download this Jenkins file from this project and it will execute on that job and it will create pipeline on fly. Okay. So for now I didn't push our latest file because we created with .jenkins file 2, right? I'm yet to push this. Let's do that now. Okay, so I will first move to my project Git demo. So first I will say Git status. I am explaining the level commands on high level here, but in depth you need to watch that section. So when I do Git status, I don't find any file related to, yeah, here it is, Jenkins file 2, which is not tracked yet. So to track this, I will do git add. Git add is a command which you can give, and by pass that file name, it will be tracked now. Do git status again. Okay, you see that new file. Now the file which we tracked should get committed. For that, give this command commit committing some message Jenkins file. Perfect. So once it is committed, I'll push this into my repository. Git push origin and give the branch name. Branch, you can simply say git push as well. That will go and push your whole code into the repository. Perfect. So these are the commands. Okay, now refresh your project and you see that Jenkins file 2 is displaying. It's simple, right? So if you are not aware, don't worry. When you come across that section, you will understand all this. Okay, so now take this git clone link, copy this link, and that's it. Hereafter, it's cakewalk to complete this whole project. Come back to your Jenkins. Okay, so go to your project pipeline script demo, which we created initially, right? Now we have a git URL to give to this project. Okay, so let's see that. All right, so come down and say I'm going to get this Jenkins file from source code management. That's what SCM stands for, and I have a link of git. So give this, and then it's asking repository URL. We just copied it from here, right? This is a repository URL. Copy this and you can paste here, and that's it. That's all you need to do. The only thing what you can do here is to add Jenkins file script path. So here our file name is Jenkins file 2, right? Just make sure our path name is exactly correct. Go back here and see it's .jenkins file 2, everything small letters. Yeah. .jenkins file 2. Okay. So we are clearly telling to our Jenkins that go to this repository so that it will go here. Thereafter find this .jenkins file 2 found and execute. That's it. That will execute on fly, create jobs, and when it tries to read each and every item in this file, especially in that steps. Okay. So whenever it sees MV and clean, it actually does clean for this whole project. And when you say MV and test, it actually tests this whole project. So in real time, you will have your complete application and you will have this Jenkins file, and based upon the commands, whatever you provide in the steps, it will complete each and every job. And that's all. Now just build now and see what happens. Hopefully there should not be any error. Okay, you see that first it's cloning the repository of project successfully from GitHub to Jenkins, and thereafter you can see that pipeline begin execution. Right now it's doing MV and clean. So you can go back to your project and see how the pipeline is getting progressed. You see that build job is running now, and if someone asks you what is the status, you can say that, hey, build is done, deployment is also done. Now it's trying to test it. Okay, so all the commands, all the jobs will be done as part of one pipeline. It will build the project, it will deploy into environment. Thereafter, your test automation test cases will execute on the deployment phase, and thereafter it will release it into production. This is how it happens in Google. Okay, Google brought up this concept in live implementation by doing this. Whenever they do some code check-in, that will just get built, that will get deployed and any environment, and automation test will test it, unit test will test the whole code, and everything is passed automatically, that will get it into production. If something is failed here, that will not move to the next step. Okay, so right now unit tests are running, and that's it. Release. You have successfully released your project with the help of this end-to-end pipeline. And this is how you can implement the second approach of building Jenkins pipeline project for larger scale applications. But for a test architect or SDET roles, if you are asked to build a pipeline, in most of the cases you will be given the first job to do, because this does not require any commands knowledge of what all will go in build or what all will go to deploy. You can simply take the jobs which are already existing and you can create chain for them by making some configuration change, and with that use of this plugin you can create a pipeline. Okay, so if you are asked to create a project with Jenkin file script, still you need not panic with after going through these lectures. Just create this whole setup like this and just reach out to your DevOps or dev team, and by asking what are the steps I want to use as part of my build. So as per the requirement, you first build this prototype, and for all tests you have to give the steps like what all you need to give for your Maven. But for build and deployment, you can sit with them and ask what steps you need to include as part of that stage, and that's it. You can still do that confidently with this syntax. All right, so that's all I have for Jenkins file pipeline integration for achieving continuous delivery, one of the most hot topic in current agile industry. Okay, see you with one more topic in one more new section. Thank you.